Hello and welcome to day 2 of Mission 1000. My name is Emmanuel Adeyemi and I'm the team lead MD in Benariti, and I'm super excited that you have been part of this course from day 1 already, and today is day 2. I just want you to have this at the back of your mind. Take every day unique to yourself. Keep setting yourself on your feet to see that you finish, right? So today we are going to be looking at understanding real estate in Nigeria. I know you all are in Nigeria by reason of the registration and the state you put in your location. We know largely everyone on this course are in Nigeria, but in case you want to learn what is doable, what is sustainable in terms of real estate outside Nigeria, you can just specify what country you would like to learn about in the comment section below. Right? It's a crucial foundation to understand Nigerian real estate, as this gives you a strategic edge when it comes to the real estate environment, the real estate market. Either you're looking to be an investor, you're seeking to buy, or you're seeking to be a real estate entrepreneur, understanding the market terrain is very, very essential. And in this is what we're going to be diving into this class. So let's go. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What is real estate? Before you can understand the operational dynamics of real estate in Nigeria, it's very, very important that you understand what real estate is really all about. Real estate is anything and everything that is on permanent attachment on the land. Real estate is land and anything permanently attached to land, because the only thing that we have as an estate or we have as an asset that is given to humanity in God's creation is the universe. I will say universe is real estate. Anything you have plant permanently attached to it, it's called. Now let me give you a scenario. A scenario whereby you have a property, or there's a landed property somewhere, and you go on that landed property and you see a lot of orange trees, you see a lot of palm kernel trees, you see a lot of whatever trees you've seen on it. Those trees have economic value. Do you know that those trees are real estate? That land and those trees on that land is real estate. If probably you are to buy that property, or the government is to come acquire that property from the owner for one reason or the other, they are going to pay economic value to compensate that person for that resources on the land, called those trees, those plants on the land. Those plants have economic value because they are permanently attached to the land. It is regarded as what? Real estate. So real estate in the nutshell is land and everything permanently attached to it as a structure or either VAT. Do you know that on the ground resources is also real estate, right? So real estate refers to land and anything permanently attached to it, such as building, structures, or even underground resources. In Nigeria, real estate is not just property. Please don't forget that. When it comes to real estate, don't just think properties, don't just think house, don't just think of land. Real estate is not just properties. It's wealth, it's security, it's legacy. It is wealth, it is security, and it's what? It's legacy. It plays a major role in the economic growth, especially in urban cities like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and we also call Oyo State, Ibadan. Those are places that are thriving. These are places, why we call it economic cities, because they have high economic traction. They command resources that brings about cash flow to the economy, right? The extent to which there is a flow of currency in such environment is why it is called an economic city, right? So in such places, having such investment or real estate investment in such strategic locations or states in Nigeria puts your investment in a good stake that brings about good returns. So beyond just the land, beyond just the structure, is about having security, is about having secured investment, secured properties, it's about securing a legacy, a future for yourself. So when you come into the real estate space, you're not just coming to just sell land, have a land. It's about ensuring that you create an environment that allow people to thrive when it comes to having a home secured, a land secured, right, to their name, and there are parameters to this, and one of those parameters we're going to be learning in the course of this training, right? So that is it for what is real estate. I hope you understand that. Gameplay. So having said that, what makes Nigeria real estate really unique? Number one, high demand for housing, and this is because of the high population. We have high population. High population means, remember yesterday in day one I was teaching us about the things that commands real estate attraction is because of high demand, right? High demand is a product of increase in population. And I make us understand yesterday that when I make us understand yesterday that the needs of men are categorized into 4 levels. Number one is what? Food. Number two is what? Shelter. Number three is what? Clothing. And number four is movement, transportation. If you have investment in any of these 4 levels of the highest human need, you are going to command high economic value, right? So real estate in Nigeria is unique because of the demand is high. There is such a surge of demand. Now we have an increase in the younger population, which the youth is the larger population we have in Nigeria, and these guys are transiting from their 26, 27, 28 years old, 30 into their early 30s, late 30s, early 40s, and they are in a position where they want to settle in, they want to get married, they want to have a home they can call theirs, right? This brings about increased demand, and eventually, because of the demand not being met, right, due to the low amount of developers and land, the rate of which the tediousness in getting a property is really, really strenuous. All right, this is one of those problems we face in Nigeria, and that is what has caused the increase in land deficits in Nigeria, right? So these are one of the things that make Nigeria real estate very unique. Another thing is the rapid urbanization, right? We are beginning to see how Nigeria is fastly developing. Nigeria is no longer termed an undeveloped nation. It is a developing nation. It is emerging. The strategic infrastructures that are beginning to come into Nigeria and the global traction Nigeria is going to begin to pull in is going to make Nigeria more urbanized, right? And this increased urbanization brings about demand in real estate to also go up, which means a lot of people are relocating to Nigeria. A lot of people are trying to settle in close to urban cities and areas, which makes house very scarce and thereby increasing prices. Well, of course, you understand the economics. When demand is high, price goes up. When demand is low, price comes down. Demand and supply. I'm sure you understand these dynamics. So another thing that makes Nigeria real estate unique is the untapped investment potential in undeserved areas. There are a lot of locations in Nigeria that have not been yet developed. Let me put it that way. They are not yet developed. They are underserved, rather. Let me put it that way. Underserved area. There are areas where people have not yet explored enough, right? And yes, strong return, right? Strong return. Nigeria real estate brings about strong return, especially when strategically invested in, right? So that is one of the things you need to understand about Nigeria real estate. So let's go on to the next thing. It's very important that you understand the types of real estate. And number one among the list is the residential real estate. Quite a lot of people know more when it comes to residential real estate. This is the most common interface or interaction when it comes to real estate. A lot of people interface more with residential because when it comes to real estate, people are thinking of where can I live in. But I want you to know that real estate is way beyond residential. But one of the most common one, of course, is called the residential real estate. This has to do with bungalows, duplexes, apartments, shortlets. These are places where people reside in, either as a permanent structure that is theirs or as a rented structure that is for a period of time and for temporary purposes. But whatever the case is, people go in largely for residential plots. Now, if you see people telling themselves, I'm a developer, what first thing that comes to your mind? So the person is into residential real estate. building estates. I've got calls of people reaching out to me. They want land, but they want to farm. And what is on the flyer shows that it's an estate. Do you understand? And then you're calling us, you want to farm on the land. Can you farm on your land? Can I come and build school on the land? No. Now, these are the things that people need to understand, and that is why this training is up, so that you can really understand in details real estate, right? So the first point here is the residential real estate. This talks about includes home, duplexes, flats, bungalows, and apartments, just like I mentioned before. Whether it's for rental properties in Jabi, in Lekki, in Ajah, or service apartment in Guaripa, in Guzape, in Metama, residential investments are derived by population growth and housing shortage, right? How you get to earn through residential real estate is because this is one part of real estate that has high demand. It has high demand because that is the first go-to. People are looking for where they can stay. So if you are into rentals properties, people are renting properties every minute. People are looking for properties to rent every minute, every hour, every day. If you form a niche and go into the property rentage, and you are able to build a network of agents and landlords, you can even build an application that affords people to be able to access these opportunities. People are looking for places to rent. People are looking for places to buy. People are looking for how they can buy house. Someone has been my DM looking for a house of 60 million, 50 million, 40 million. Very, very difficult houses to find of such budget, right? Or financial budget, right? So yes, residential real estate is one part of it. The second part of real estate is called the commercial real estate. The commercial real estate, right? Think office, shops, malls, hotel, co-working space. Co-working space is another part of real estate you need to dive into. Think of warehouse. Well, that's not really commercial. Think of offices, shops, malls, places people go to. You can build a mall, build a shop, or collate with you and your friends, build, that's another part. Or help people to get shops for rent, get a place to have their business being done. That is commercial real estate, and that is a lot of money. If you're into commercial real estate, you're in a lot of money, right? These are income generating properties typically located in busy business districts. If you're in Lagos, you think of Ikeja, right? You can think of Oshodi. You think of a lot of, in fact, Lagos is literally everywhere in Lagos is a business district, right? So thirdly, we have is the industrial real estate. This industrial real estate comprises of warehouses, factories, processing centers. You've seen areas whereby people process rice, process millet, warehouses where they store. I'm telling you, this is one untapped area of real estate a lot of people are not looking into. Warehouses are very, very scarce. You see a lot of market people, a lot of our Igbo brothers, they can't buy a lot of goods because they don't have enough warehouse to store it. And you looking at very strategic areas around some business district or some outskirts part of town, and you can buy properties and build warehouses, right? In the course of this training, I'm going to be teaching you what you should look out for before buying a property, because in a place like Nigeria, or specifically now Abuja, lands have designated purpose. It's called land use. We're going to be diving much into that. Another aspect is called raw land. Another aspect, talking about the types of real estate, is the raw land. This is mostly known as land banking, whereby you buy lands in places that have not yet been served or have not yet been fully developed, or probably still developing. You buy the lands and you can just it's a form of investment in undeveloped areas, and then you can buy it and flip it. It's something called land flipping. You can hold it for a while. The value of the land appreciates. You develop it later and you sell it at higher value with better income. Places like Ibeju-Lekki, places like Epe, places like Gwagwalada, Kuje, these are massive land value growth arenas whereby you want to make your investment and see your land appreciate over time. So yes, raw land value is one place you should look at for making that investment. So why is this so important for you to really understand real estate in Nigeria, the types of real estate in itself, why you should care, because so is to understand this importance. Number one, each type of real estate has different risk and return. When you're looking at industrial real estate, you're looking at commercial real estate, you're looking at residential real estate, you're looking at raw land real estate, you need to understand the market values and the return. So this gives you a better edge in order for you to advise a client, or you as a developer, or you as a client, knowing what you should look out for before putting in your money, right? So this is going to help you to understand the different risk and return. So when you go into real estate, residential, there are risk involved in residential real estate, there are risk involved in commercial real estate, there are risk involved in industrial real estate, and you need to understand the return. There are the risk, there are the return. Right. Another thing you need to look out for is your budget. Your budget goal timeline determines whether you should invest in a property or not. And also remember, real estate is not a one size fits all market. It is not a one size fits all market. What works in Abuja might not be what works in Aba, might not be what works in Lagos. It's definitely not works in Dubai, right? So when it comes to real estate, you must understand the dynamics, the part in real estate you want to play in. Real estate is very dynamic. You must be so much reason why you should care about the whole real estate arena, right, is because number one is that the type of real estate has different, every type of real estate, each type, right, either residential, commercial, industrial, raw land, real estate has different risk attached to it and different return value. If you're investing in commercial estates, you should be expecting more income than when you're investing in residential estate. If you're investing in industrial estate, there is more money. Imagine you building filling stations. It's more money. You have an oil well, you have a mining, you are into mining of natural resources. That is real estate. There is more money there. Of course, to go into those markets requires more money, and what comes out of it also is more money. Of course, there are other parameters that for you to check in order to measure your risk when you go into this. Your budget, your goals, and your timeline determines where you should invest. Right? Some people come to you and say, I want to get a house of 40 million here in Abuja. Where will you see that house? Maybe even in Gwagwalada, it's hard to see a house for 40 million naira, right? So the budget, right, now in places like Gwagwalada, you can still get a land. Now if you're going to raw land, that is land banking now, real estate, and you can get a land as low as 1.5, like our estate is selling for 1.5, 2.5, 4.5 in Gwagwalada, in Kuje 3.5, 6.5, 12.5, like that, right? So you can invest in such places. Depends on your budget. So when a client comes to you, wants to get you don't be all interested about just telling them about your properties. Get to know them, get to know what their preference are, get to know what their budget is, get to know what they envisage getting through the market, right? These are essential things. What is their goal? What do you seek to attain? And timeline. Do you seek to invest for 1 year, 2 year and flip your land, invest and resell? What do you want to do, right? Remember, real estate is not one side fix all markets. What works here in Abuja might not be what works in Lagos, might not works in Ibadan, might not be what works in Port Harcourt, might not be what works in Aba, but of course there are general rules, there are general considerations. One of the things you need to also understand in Nigeria real estate, this is something I need to give it towards, that every land belongs to the government. There is no land in Nigeria that belongs to anybody. Under the Land Use Act, it is written clearly that every land belongs to the government. Now, what the government do to you that now owns the land is that they give you something called rights of occupants. I'll be talking about documentations and how to check in for documentations along this training. Also, there's something called right of occupants or certificate of occupants. The difference there is that, or the major point in this document is that the government is giving you the land to use. That means they certify you to use the land for a specific purpose for a specific duration of time, and there are land laws to it. One of the basic things you must do when certificated the land is that you must pay your ground rent. We'll be talking more on all of these things, right? Yeah, so list 3 type of real estate investment in Nigeria and leave your comment, your answer in the comment section. And these are assignments for today, right? The assignment today: pick one type of real estate investment, either residential, commercial, industrial, or land banking, real estate, right? And explain it in your own words. Please make it typed. Send to the email benarrealtycustomer@gmail.com. Right? Explain it in your own words. Find 2 current listings in Nigeria with location and price. Find 2. We have some of our properties. You can also look out for other real estate. Find 2. Write a short paragraph on why someone should invest in it, right? Then you share this with us via email. So let's see how we grow together. Let's grow your understanding. Okay, thank you for watching. Please ensure you do your assignment. Thank you for watching. Please stay consistent, stay committed, stay resilient. Don't give up. It's just day 2. We have day 3 coming, day 4, and up to day 50, right? And I need you to have that mindset of the finishers mindset, right? Another thing you need to understand is that you don't need to have millions to go into real estate. All you need is information, the right network, the right relationship, and information. Okay, see you tomorrow, and thank you for watching.